What do you take away from yesterday's game? It was a little bit of a wild one, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I think reflecting on myself as an individual, I don't think it was my best performance, and I know that, and I think the important thing is to have a short memory, and like you said, to look back and find things, and I will do that. I'll do the work of making sure I'm learning from the experience as best as I can, and staying in my process as well as I can. And from a team standpoint, I thought it was pretty awesome by the guys to come back and score 2 late ones like that. So it was pretty cool to see them pick up the slack for me a little bit like that, and would have been great to get the win overall, but unfortunately didn't go that way.
Some tough luck on the Eklund goal. What did you see in that moment?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Just a bad play. Sometimes you make bad plays, and I think I was looking up ice, and brain turned off for a second, and it's unfortunate.
How easy is it to flush it when that happens? Have you gotten good at watching it, or?
Once something like that happens, you have to do your best to put it behind you. There's no point in lingering on it, and just do your best to move forward.
You've played a lot of games, more than you've played in any other year. What's it been like for you the last little bit here to kind of find a bit of a groove and kind of gear yourself for where you want to be in a couple of weeks from now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been lucky and fortunate to have the experience of playing a lot, and I think I've taken a lot and learned a lot this season of what that entails and the work that goes into that. So again, just trying to do as well as I can what I know and what I've learned, and put that into practice.
The extra workload, is it more of a challenge physically or mentally, do you think?
That's twofold. I think it's more work to keep your body healthy, and that's a learning experience as well. You learn what your body needs, and that it is doing more to stay healthy, and at the same time it is work mentally too. You have to stay in the right mindset, and it's like anything else, it's work.
There's only 10 games now till playoffs. What do you see as the biggest area the team needs to dial in leading up?
I think we know our identity as a team, and for us it's about consistency, and I can do better speaking on myself as well. I think from that standpoint as well, I think it's important to be as consistent as possible, and it's in action, it's in mindset, it's in process, and that's definitely what I'll be focusing on as well.
It's been a road-heavy few weeks here. How do you manage kind of the rest here in terms of when you're playing or when you're not playing, just going cross-continent in such a short period amount of time here?
Yeah, it is. It's exciting, and it's difficult at the same time to travel a lot, and getting rest when you can, and taking breaks when you can. But it's important to keep your focus and do the things that are necessary.
What's your process with Curtis? Do you immediately go after stuff that night of the game, or to wait to the next day? Like, when do you sort of start to go over the previous game?
Typically for me, I try to do it the night of, after the game, and flush it out. And it varies from time to time. Sometimes you really don't want to go after the game, and but for the most part, I try to get it and flush it, regardless if it was good or bad outcome. Move forward.
It's nice. I mean, a lot of good memories, and Anaheim was one of the first teams to really give me a crack at a full-time NHL job, so it brings a lot of good memories back.
What have you made of the workload this season? You matched your career high in games in a season in the NHL. Like, what's that kind of been the process leading up to this moment here?
It's been great. I mean, at the end of the day, it's, as a goalie, it's what you want. You want to get in games, and for me to be able to play as many games as I have, play as well as I have, I think that's a success in itself. But the job's not done, and we still have 8 or 9 games left here, and playoffs as well. So I'm looking forward to the stretch run here.
Did you prepare any differently this summer, knowing that it would be more of a workload probably than you had in Florida?
I mean, not really. Obviously, we had a short off season, so I kind of just stuck to my routine. I got back and kind of just did the same thing with my trainers back home, and I was on the ice with my buddies and my goalie coach probably 2 or 3 days a week come the middle of July. So I kind of just stuck to my usual summer routine.
Yeah. How much do you stay in contact with the Panthers guys? Like, it's just kind of interesting that you flip teams, but the race is right there.
Yeah, I mean,
still in touch. Yeah.
You stay in touch with some of the guys. Obviously, you're rivals now. So, but anytime they're in town, you kind of catch up and grab dinner with one or two of the guys. So it's minimal contact.
What went through your mind when Marchand joined your old team there?
I mean, it's a good get for them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's he's a hell of a player, and someone who has a lot of playoff experience and knows how to get under guys' skin. So, you obviously don't know what the matchups are going to be come playoff time. But I think for us right now, just focusing on our game down the stretch, it's going to be important and kind of not worrying about anyone else.
You had a great start to the season, and you had the knee thing, and then when you came back, there was like another long break. How have you felt about your game since that second break, coming back from Four Nations, and kind of where you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel really good about it. I mean, at the end of the day, my job's to come in here and win games. Doesn't matter if you give up, 1, 2, or 4 or 5. At the end of the day, if you get scored on, you have to forget about the goal, go out there and worry about that next shot, because you can't really do anything about the last one. So, there's a lot of positives in my game that Curtis and I have been working on, and a couple of little things. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human and we can all improve on certain areas. So, I think just getting a little extra work in with him the last couple days here has been huge, and I really liked my last 2 games against the Rangers and Flyers.
Do you do anything different, like before, earlier in the season compared to when you guys are kind of getting closer to playoffs, or is it just kind of the same routine from beginning to end?
Yeah, it's kind of the same routine. I think as you kind of get down here, there's a lot less practice time. So when you're out there, you try to make the most of it, and you try to get your reps in, and little areas that you need to work on, you're going to work on them. Maybe a little more. We'll go out 15 minutes early instead of 10 for a goalie skate. But like I said, the practice time is very minimal. So when you're out there, you want to make the most of it.
When you're reviewing your starts with Curtis, is it you and Curtis one-on-one, or is it sometimes you, Joseph, and Curtis all talking about things together?
It's usually just me and Curtis. I'm a big video guy. I kind of just like going out there and seeing, my clips and seeing some saves, some certain situations. There's so many cameras and so many angles, things that you can pick up on. So I think just us going over has been huge.
Greg, I guess first off, what led to this type of practice with just Austin?
Yeah, just optional today. A lot of minutes played by some of our guys with the OT and the end of the game there, trying to tie it up. So minutes got a little high, and it's just made it an optional.
Would you like them lower? Did you get carried?
Yeah,
with the game state?
Yeah, the state of the game and where we were at. Max was in the box too. He wasn't available, so I played a lot of our skilled guys down the stretch to tie the game up, and then we get into OT, and that's where they play.
How difficult is the challenge for you in terms of winning as many games as possible, but your playoff position is pretty safe, load management, that type of thing?
Yeah, no, it's important. I always tell you guys, I don't want to play those. I don't want them minutes to get that high, and there's times that it does. It's just every game's different, right? And I want to win games. So do they. But it's not like they haven't done that before, So they rest today and they get ready for tomorrow.
That all being said, how important is it heading to the playoffs, finding kind of some consistency and a level of rhythm?
I think it is important. I mean, it's not the end of it all either. I mean, but definitely I talked about consistency yesterday, and I do believe it's important. I want our team playing a certain way going in there.
How about for yourself to not go out on the ice? Was that just to kind of treat it like a morning skate type of feel?
Yeah, just an optional. I let the assistant coaches run it. They probably, a lot of times they hear from me all the time, and, they heard from me this morning. So let's let them
reset after a game like last night.
Well, you look at some of the things in the video today and where we failed in the game, and looking at that, and it's not like this has been a consistent thing. I think the last 5 or 6 games we've defended really well. I didn't feel we defended very well last game, especially in the first period. And you come out of that game with a point, but at the same time, I didn't feel we got to our game enough, with the defending side of things, and then, just making it hard on the other team in the offensive zone. I didn't feel that we did a good enough job in that department.
What do you attribute the improvement defensively aside from that game to? Is it some of you guys coming in maybe?
Pardon me?
What do you attribute the defensive improvement aside from last game to?
Just some of the players, and got a new goalie, some new D, and it's a new system we play, and more than anything, it's just a commitment. It really is. It's like defense is a commitment. I don't care what system you play. Teams win with different types of systems, but it's a commitment to doing it and doing the little things within that system that really buckle you down defensively.
Last night aside, how have you felt about the goaltending, maybe since Four Nations break, and kind of where both guys are at right now?
A little up and down, but they've had real good games too. And again, a little bit like our game, a little inconsistent at times, but hey, they played really well for us this year. They've been really solid, and they're going to have off nights like everybody has off nights.
How mindful do you have to be, just because both of these guys haven't really had like a more than half season workload kind of going into the year, that maybe
and that's part of the the rotation that we've used throughout the season too. I mean, like you said, these guys have not had that much work in their career ever, and they're past that point now, but I think we managed it well with the rotation and using guys. We played goalies 2 games in a row in a situation, and a lot of time the schedule dictates how we're going to use them too, so but I think they're in a good spot, to be honest with you. I don't feel like they're overused or tired. I'm not sensing that, and I'm not sensing that from them.
Stolarz tomorrow then?
Maybe.
Okay. What about Holmberg? Is he getting back
Holmberg
in?
will be back in tomorrow.
Yeah. And who comes out?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but he'll be back in tomorrow, Homer.
What have you seen from the Benoit Ekman-Larsson pair? Do you feel like they're still trying to get settled?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've had some good games. I think, they both defend hard. They're physical players, both of them. And when they're simple with the puck and just getting up to the forwards, they're an effective pair. I think they're a difficult pair to play against, to be honest with you, like with the size and the physicality they both play with. And I don't love OEL on his offside, but that's the way it is with that pair right now.
Do you feel like it takes away from his puck moving a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think anybody that plays their offside is going to take away a little bit of their puck movement and things like that. I think probably takes a little bit of the way of their all-around game to a certain extent, but O's played the right side a lot in his career, and it's nothing new for him.